Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another accountability live stream. Please don't mind my messy bed behind there. I just sometimes when I'm putting these live streams together, I'm like, okay, finish up your slides, fix the bed up real quick, and then I start playing the intro, and I'm like, it's fine. It'll be okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome again. Today is day 794 of my fasting journey, my weight loss journey, my health and happiness journey. As the days have pushed along, as I have now been 2+ years into my journey, one of the big realizations for me is it isn't just about the fasting part. It plays a big part. It will always play a big part. It will always be the foundation of what I'm doing. But as you're going to see today, there are many other parts of this journey that I have to continue fighting against. My diet being one of those things. And I'll get into that a little bit later today. So today's title of the live stream is Showing Up Without Motivation, because today felt like another one of those days where I didn't really feel motivated. And there are a lot of reasons behind that. On my last live stream, you heard me talk about why showing up is so important, because that kind of consistency can help you keep your footing from completely spiraling, falling off the wagon, the cliff, whatever analogy you want to use when it comes to that. Showing up without motivation is hard. Showing up when you don't want to is hard. Showing up when you're doing well, it's easy. Of course, putting a long fast down isn't easy. Keeping your eating clean isn't easy. Getting your steps in, lifting weights, getting good sleep, putting all of these things together for a lot of us isn't easy. There is work and discipline and willpower that needs to be done. And when you have all of those things firing, it's easy to show up. It's easy to be present. But I know there are many of us who do this, who realize that some days when all those cylinders aren't firing, when your fast isn't going as long as you thought it would, when you tend to overeat, when you don't get your steps in, or it's because one of those things becomes a domino, knocks everything else over, and then you're like, well, what's the point of doing anything? Those are the hard moments. Those are the moments we don't feel motivated, not because we can't, but because we set ourselves up to feel this way. And this is something that I am currently struggling with and something I am trying to figure out, which is why I think one of the really important weight loss levers that we can still continue working on, even when everything is falling apart, is the psychological part, is our mental health. Malone guy Mark with a $2 super chat. Mark, thank you for the support as always. I appreciate you. Mark says, hi, Jerome, love seeing the regular lives again. Listen, me too. There's a reason I'm 15 minutes late today, and it was because I almost didn't want to do this live stream today. Just like I didn't do my live stream Sunday night, I ended up doing it Monday morning because I realized I still had to show up. And I was telling myself, why are you falling into this? Mark, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Lately, I've been asking myself, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing the things you're supposed to be doing? Why are you having such a hard time with this? And one of the reasons for me is because, sure, I can put a 65-hour fast down, a 90-hour fast down, and I'm refusing to do so because I keep telling myself I have to work on my diet. And if I do not work on this part, I will never evolve. I will never grow from that. And I know there are probably other people who might be thinking, but Jerome, if fasting is what you're good at, then just stick with that and just do that. And yes, I know I can do that. That will always be a tool in my tool belt. But there's also the part of me that wants to learn, that wants to grow, that wants to eventually say, hey, I can control this. Maybe not perfectly, but in a way that I can make this long term and sustainable. Because I also know that 65-hour fasts and 90-hour fasts for the rest of my life is not something that I really want to do. It is something that I can do, it is something that I can push, but I would love to be able to eat every other day at the very least, or even do OMAD a couple days a week and find some balance in my life. So I'm just going to say hi to whoever's in here right now before I kind of get into my slides here. Not into my nerd stats per se, but to really talk about why showing up without motivation is and can be important. But Eric, Maritimer, who else is in here? Lucas, Maggie May, Lynn, the writers, Simi Davis, peace to all. Am I missing anyone in here? I did say Maritimer, right? I did. Marie B, Mark, is that everyone? Megan, hello, welcome. Nice to see you all. So let me just kind of dig into this and I'll talk to chat in a minute. But I really want to get this off of my chest because I really think these slides sometimes get very annoying. I want to get this off of my chest because it is frustrating, to say the least. I am in a part of my journey where I feel like I am currently fighting the final boss. Other people's final bosses might be different. Your final boss might be getting a longer fast down, being able to pass a 16-hour, doing an overnight fast. My final boss right now is the diet, is the way I eat. It's figuring out why, when I eat the way I do, why do I lose that motivation? Why do I do the things that I do? And I know a lot of it is because it's out of habit, but a lot of it is because, listen, it's like when you're a little kid and you're playing a video game, and maybe this doesn't ring true for people who are younger at this point, but I remember being a little kid playing something on Nintendo or Super Nintendo and fighting whatever final boss there was and having to play it over and over and over and over until I could beat it. And I know it sounds like a silly analogy, but the only way that you're ever going to beat something like that is by doing. And by doing it again, and by doing it again, and by doing it again. And that's why, as you're looking at this slide here, when I talk about day 794, it's literally 794 days of just imperfect consistency, of trying again and trying again and trying again. Whether you want to believe this or not, this isn't about your 7-day fast. This isn't about your 21-day fast. This isn't about a one-time thing. This is about something that you are planning to do for life. I'm not talking about doing a 7-day fast for life, a 5-day fast for life, a 3-day fast for life. If that's something you choose to do, that's on you. But what I'm talking about here is doing something that you can finally tell yourself, this can be long-term, this can be a sustainable way of life, this can be something that you can take away with, because you know that you have grown and evolved into the person that you are now versus what bad habits you had on day one of your journey. So I say this 794 days into my journey, letting you know that the fasting part I got down. Yes, of course, not every fast is going to be super easy. It's not going to be lights out, but I know the fasting part, for the most part, I have down pat. You've all seen it. The exercise part is not an issue for me. I can get my steps in. I can go lift weights at the gym. The sleeping part, that's another part I have to work on. But in terms of my sleep versus where the really big issue is, which is my diet, that is the hard part. So 794 days in, 2+ years later, sometimes you would probably think, if you've been doing something for this long, you should have it down by now. And I'm telling you, I don't. And I'm okay with that because I know this is a lifelong journey. Now, here is the big point I want to make. We don't always have motivation. We are not always going to have that motivation that we think is going to propel us to keep pushing forward, because eventually that motivation will fade away. One thing I have noticed recently is I don't lose motivation because I ate bad per se. And when I say bad, it means what I consider bad, what I am psychologically telling myself is bad. Eric with a 2026. I really like that, Eric. Eric with a 2026 Australian super chat. Eric, thank you for the huge donation. Eric with the 2026 super chat says here 2026 has already started with some diet challenges, but like with Jerome, I need to grow and figure out maintenance and not have an all or nothing mindset. Work with my strengths, but work on my weaknesses as well, or my weakness as well. Eric, thank you so much for the huge super chat. Eric, I appreciate you. And this is coming from someone like Eric that I'm talking to here, who is in maintenance. I would like to say I am somewhere very close to my maintenance weight, even though I know I'm up. But I know for the most part, I have stayed at a relatively stable weight, at a weight that I'm happy at, but I know I can get better at. I know I can lean out more. I am trying to find an optimal. I mean, let's face it, that's really what I'm trying to do at this point, is to continue really knocking out the excess body fat and retaining and gaining muscle. But I also know I have my own challenges, just like Eric. And Eric and I are very similar in this vein, where the eating part is the hard part. Even though Eric is at the weight he wants to be, and even though I'm at a relatively close weight to where I want to be, I know that I still have my issues that I have to eventually fix. Eric, thank you so much for the huge, generous super chat. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Eric. So let's kind of get back into this. That's a really good segue too with that super chat, because for me, I have noticed that I'll lose motivation because I eat quote unquote bad. And before I can even continue, Juan dropping a $10 super chat. Juan, thank you so much. Guys, I'm trying to push a presentation here. Just kidding. You know, I'm very appreciative. Juan with the $10 super chat says, thank you, Jerome. 223 this morning. A 45.5 hour fast completed this morning. Congrats to you, Juan. I love to hear it. Today was a refeed, and now the timer starts. God bless everyone. Juan, congrats on your 45.5 hour fast. I love to see you pushing through. Keep us posted on your journey. Keep pushing. Keep moving forward. Also remember, give yourself grace. If you do not complete a fast as long as you intended, all you got to do is hit the timer and go again. Refeed and go again. Refeed and go again. But with that being said, again, Juan, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is a really good segue because what happens when you don't fast as long as you thought you would? You refeed and then you eat more than you thought you would. This is me. On days where I eat more than I expected to, are days where I lose motivation because I quote unquote ate bad. And I wrote here, it's not because I'm lazy, even though I might tell myself that. So really think about this. Sometimes I lose motivation because I ate bad. For example, last night I ate quote unquote bad. I ate over my caloric limit. And I lost motivation last night after eating that, not because I'm lazy, but because it's more disappointment than anything else. And I say this because I want you to understand, for anybody who's watching this right now, are you truly losing motivation because you're just not feeling it? Or is it because you feel disappointed about the way you ate? Because your refeed went over the caloric limit that you thought it would. Even if you didn't fast for as long as you thought you would, you could still control the eating part. And if you can't control the eating part, is that where the motivation starts to fade away because you feel disappointed? And then that disappointment leads to something worse. What do I mean by that? Imagine me last night. I ate over my caloric limit. I woke up with the weight up. That isn't surprising. I expected that. But I already knew that not only was my weight going to go up, but in the back of my mind, it's like I ate more calories than I thought I would or that I should have. And I know that I will gain body fat on top of that. And sometimes that motivation disappears before the day even starts. Because the minute I wake up, I'm already telling myself, I got to get on that scale. I know I'm going to feel bloated. And then there's the part of my brain that says, should I go for my walk? Should I do this live stream? And I wrote here at the very bottom, but in reality, the motivation, it never left. Psychologically, I put myself there. Am I right? Or am I right? You don't lose motivation per se. It just doesn't go away, but it goes away if you put your mind there. If you tell yourself, well, I already ate bad. The weight's already up. I didn't fast as long as I thought I would. I ate shitty last night. Does that mean that it's time to throw it all in and walk away? You already know the answer to this. But I bring this up because it is something that all of us do time and time again. We beat ourselves up. We tell ourselves, well, I'm already here, so I might as well eat this. I might as well do that. And then the cycle starts over again. Start on Monday. Start on X amount of day. Listen, it's January here, at least in the Philippines, it's January 7th. I'm a week into this journey already. I'm climbing an uphill battle. But you know what? I'm fighting a final boss right now. And I know I have a lot of work to do. This is something that has to be said to many of you as well. If you are the all or nothing mindset, fast forever or do nothing at all, fast forever or do nothing at all, eat perfectly or do nothing at all, fast and eat perfectly or do nothing at all, fast and eat perfectly and get all your steps in and lift weights and sleep 8 hours and drink all your water or do nothing at all. If you are this person that cannot find the middle ground, you have a lot of work to do. You have a lot to work on yourself. You have a lot of things that you need to fix outside of just one particular thing. That's the truth. That is something that you have to ultimately face, because I don't want people to be coming in here saying, as long as I do a fast, I'll be fine. Yes, in essence, you can be in that particular moment, but will it be like that forever? Most likely not. It cannot be a sustainable thing forever. Maybe it can. I used to think that. I used to tell myself, well, if 65s and 90s are what I do for the rest of my life, that's what I will do. And you know why I thought that? Because at that time, the motivation was very high. At that time, I finally figured out how to lose the weight. But as I lost the weight and as I got the weight down, the diet was always lurking in the corner, telling me, you're never going to eat regularly if you keep this up. Inherently, it's not the worst thing in the world. I would rather keep my weight down and fast for 3 or 4 days if I can do that. But it wears on you. At least it wore on me, right? So I find myself now in a much better balanced position, but that balance isn't particularly there because even though I'm doing ADF, fasting every day, eating every other day, it's been about, what was it, 7 weeks since I've been here now, and I'm in an uphill battle. You'll see that in a minute here. This is my all or nothing brain. This could be your all or nothing brain. But this is the way I think. If I eat bad, I feel guilty. If I feel guilty, I then have this, well, I might as well eat more. I might as well not hit a timer. I might as well not get my steps in. I might as well, whatever excuse I can put in front of me. That might as well thinking then equals avoidance. What do I mean by avoidance? Well, I ate bad, so I feel guilty. I feel guilty, so I might as well eat some more. I might as well not fast. I might as well not go for my walk. And then when I start to have those might as well type thoughts and act upon it, I then become avoidant. How do I become avoidant? Well, I feel bloated now, so I don't want to go outside. I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to see me. I might feel embarrassed, so I don't want to go for a walk. I don't want people to see me go for a walk, so I'll just try to wait it out and walk at night where it's dark and no one's going to see me. And then by then, it's too late. I'm tired. Hey, you know what? I might as well just eat and order Grubhub instead and have something delivered to my door. And that type of avoidance is how the inconsistency starts, is how the all or nothing brain works, at least for me. Now, I don't know if that's how it works for you, if you're watching this, if you relate to this at all, but this is the chain that I am trying to break. And it starts at the very top here with my, like I said, my final boss, which is the bad eating. I cannot have a bad eating moment give me guilt. It's something that it currently does. I feel guilty when I eat bad. That guilt then tells me I might as well do this instead. And then I avoid, and then I become inconsistent. I said this on my last slide, it's there at the very bottom. Consistency doesn't mean the same time, the same results. It doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over again, although it can be. That is the definition of consistency in a lot of ways. But consistency also means that I do not disappear. I'll say it again. Consistency also means that I do not disappear. The importance of showing up, the importance of accountability, I am telling you, will help you on your journey. Think about all of the days that you decided to walk away from this. And imagine if you could not walk away from this and instead you had to talk to me and we had to have this conversation. This is the conversation I'm having with all of you right now. I'm not here to avoid anymore. I ate 6,000 plus calories last night. You'll see it all here in a minute, but I'm not going to run away from that. Instead, I'm going to tell myself, yes, I ate a lot more than I thought I would. My goal last night was to eat no more than 4,000 calories and keep it at that, and then push another ADF. But here I am right now, ate extra because I couldn't help myself, eat a bunch of extra cookies, eat some ube snacks I had in my cabinet. What am I going to do about it? Eat some more? Not go for my walk? Not do this live stream and share that accountability? Pretend it never happened? Just do the same shit over and over and over? Or do I break that? Do I start figuring this shit out? Do I start telling myself, don't feel guilty about it, continue working on it? That's all I'm doing at this point. Is I am working as hard as I can now to really fix the hard part on my journey. I am literally telling myself, you're not going to fast this off right now. You are going to face this. You are going to do what you have to do to really get your shit together. And it doesn't mean I'm not fasting because I'm currently still doing ADF. I just told myself, don't push a 65 or a 90 right now. Don't do that. Face this shit head on. Figure this shit out. And I'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to take some time here. I just want to read through chat. If there's anything you want to share on your journey, please feel free to share. That's what this accountability live stream is for. This is a place for you to share the good and the bad. Just like I am sharing the bad with you right now, because I do not want to run away from it. I do not want to throw the covers over my head and say, let's not deal with this today. One of the reasons I'm 15 minutes late today is because I procrastinated before sitting here and getting this live stream together, because for a hot second, I was like, I don't want to stream today. I don't want to deal with this shit today. And then I told myself, Jerome, you're doing the same thing again. You're going to do what you did last time, miss another live stream, and then you're going to have to face the music again. So I said, okay, let's just get this shit out here. Let's just talk about it. Let me put some slides together. Let me get my thoughts together. And that's why I do these, because I know this will ultimately, eventually will help me on my journey. I will eventually be like, yes, showing up, doing this, learning something new, practicing something new will get me better at what I'm doing. So before I continue on here, I mean, it's really interesting timing because Eric says here, I crashed out again yesterday as a carb crackhead. But this time I did it with a bit more mindfulness. Here, like even just reading this, more mindfulness, right? Eric knows that he probably ate more than he should have, but there's still some mindfulness into it. It wasn't that bad having about 400 grams of Ninja creamy yogurt with a scoop of protein. And I mean, Eric's definition of probably bad in this instance is a lot different than mine. Having 400 grams of yogurt with a scoop of protein does not sound as bad as I would think. I know for Eric and the way Eric eats, it's a little different in that way, but that's definitely mindfulness compared to some of the other things you've eaten in the past. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. I know, and this is the interesting thing about guilt. And this is why it's a psychological thing for many of us, because some people could be reading this right now and be like, I don't see what's wrong with this. What is the big deal about this? And in a lot of ways, even for me, I look at that, I'm like, that's not bad. But Eric has set rules in the way he eats and the things that he has to deal with, because Eric has other things that he deals with as well. So for him, sometimes that can just be a slippery slope. Sometimes it's a trigger in that way. But I look at this too, and if Eric can put mindfulness in that, this might change eventually as time goes on too. I'm not saying it will, but this is where evolution also takes place, where sometimes Eric can tell himself, well, I've had that before. I could probably have that again and it won't be so bad and I can keep it at bay, but it's different for everyone. Thank you for sharing with us, Eric. I appreciate that. Maritimer says, I'm proud to say I'm 48 hours fasted. Congrats, Maritimer, and ending tomorrow at 9 a.m. My new fasting regimen is going good so far. I love that for you, Maritimer. Please keep us posted on your journey as the year continues. I know we're very early into this year. I love to hear the results, so please continue to keep me posted. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Maggie says, hello, Jerome, or hello, everyone. I hope you got some sleep last night, Jerome. A little bit. Konti lang. That's a little bit in Tagalog. Maggie says, 30 plus hours into my 44-hour fast. Congrats, Maggie. Only up zero point 0.2 pounds after my refeed yesterday. Struggling not to snack out of habit today. That's a really hard habit to break. Snacking out of habit. That is, how many of us eat out of habit in that way? How many of us snack because we're bored? How many of us snack because we have nothing else to do? We're feeling emotional. I said this on my last live stream. Some of us just start to eat because somebody said something to us that we didn't like to hear. Is that you? Do you do that? Do you eat because somebody said something bad to you or because you're having a bad day? Do you think that's a bad habit? Do you think that's something that you can continue working on? I just want you to kind of walk away from that if you answered yes and realize it is a habit that you eventually have to break. The Writers says, this is day 2 of the 3-day fast with Dr. Mindy. I'm doing great today. Congrats, The Writers. Hoping tomorrow is smooth. I'm hoping for that as well. You'll have to keep us posted when I stream on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm just saying this so I remind myself as well, since I'm a day ahead here. The Writers, thank you for sharing. Congrats on being 2 days into your journey. Simi says, hey, Jerome, God bless all the day ones. Listen, Simi, thank you for being here. And for all of you day ones who are in here right now, I'll just remind you, let it be your last day one. Remember, this is a lifelong commitment. It doesn't mean it's a lifelong commitment to fast forever. All it means is it's a lifelong commitment to work on your health and wellness journey. Peace to all says, hello, fasting fam. Hi, Jerome. Hi, peace to all. I finished my 64-hour fast at noon. Congrats on your 64-hour. The refeed was clean, veggies, soup, and salad. I love that. 1 slice of sourdough toast. That's great. I love that for you, peace to all. What's next? What are you doing after this? What's the plan moving forward? Keep me posted. Marie says, hi, everyone. 46 hours fasted yesterday and 25 today. Love it. Was starving, so had to break. Here's another example. So Marie finished a 46-hour, did 25 today, and broke. But that's okay. That's what I love to hear. It's okay. Remember, just because you fasted for 46 hours, and I'm talking to anyone in here, just because you fasted for X amount of hours doesn't mean that your next fast has to be the same X amount of hours, or it has to be X plus 1, X plus 2. Not every fast has to be progressively longer than the next. Give yourself grace. Remember, keep it in your head that it is okay if your fasts aren't always super long. I don't have to lose my weight fast. It may take a year, and that's okay. It absolutely is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. Would I love to be at my goal weight, whatever that might be? Would I love to be at 15% body fat? Sure. But I'm not going to turn my nose up at being 17.5% body fat right now. I'm not going to turn my nose up at being 20% body fat last year. Because we all know that 2+ years ago, I was probably at 35, 40% body fat, if not more. I would have had no idea because I didn't get a DEXA scan then, because, I mean, honestly, I would just be too embarrassed to even walk into a place and get something like that done. And I say that 2 years into my journey. This is a long ride. This is something that just doesn't end. And let's face it, it doesn't get any easier. The older I get, I'm 45 right now. The older I get, the harder this shit is going to be, especially the way I do this naturally. I'm not on anything, I don't take anything to help in that way, it doesn't get easier from here on out. I know that. I realize that, but I'm going to do what I have to do. Thank you for sharing with us, Marie. I appreciate all of you talking in here in chat. It's nice to see. Eric says, "Hey, Jerome, I'm still fasting and working on consistency. Eric, I love to hear it. Please keep me posted. I appreciate you being here sharing with us. Thank you so much." It's okay. Simi says, "I'm so behind, Jerome. I didn't know you moved to the Philippines." I did. Um, I left Chicago November 15th. So it's been coming up on 2 months now that I've been here. Actually, it's a little crazy to think that I've been here for 2 months now, almost 2 months at this point. Uh, Tamar, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Tamar, I've been a member weeks and no communication. No one answers questions. Can't tell when the lives are. I just happened on this. Feels weird. I was so excited when I joined. Tamar, we live stream every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central. Are you a member of the Autophagy Live group? When you say no communication, I am literally on here live streaming 3 days a week. If you want to email me, you can email me at finallyfasting@gmail.com. Finallyfasting@gmail.com. Tamar, we have Autophagy live streams every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. So just FYI. You've probably seen those live streams. I literally have them for all the members. If you do not see that, then maybe you're part of the OMAD membership. And the OMAD membership is more of just a support group where, not a support, it's just supporting me where you just get some perks in chat. But it's nice to see you here. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. All you have to do is email me. I'm very open. I talk to everyone. So I'm sorry that you might have had some trouble finding your way in here, but everyone in chat can be very helpful with this too. A lot of them share and help others in here. So keep me posted tomorrow. Let me scroll down here. Peter says, "Do you think you'd still be motivated and accountable doing live streams if you didn't get super chats? That must help a little at least." No. I mean, there are many live streams where I don't get super chats. I'm not motivated by super chats. I also, here's a really good reminder for anyone in here. When I started this channel, I didn't start this channel doing live streams. I didn't start this channel hoping I'd even find subscribers. I did this as an accountability piece. I made this YouTube channel to just share my story and put accountability where I didn't have accountability before. So I don't know if your question here is saying if I feel motivated by super chats. They're always appreciated, and I'm always very appreciative of the support that people give me. But other than that, that isn't the motivation here. I literally do what I do because this helps me become healthy and happy. So I appreciate the question though, just kind of clearing the air when it comes to something like that. Prophet says, "I was motivated, going hard, doing great with my fasting, 4 to 5 days rolling, good eating, gym, walking for an hour. I lost 19 pounds in a week. Then Christmas to New Year's happened, gained 17. Hard to fast now." So, Prophet, this is a learning experience, right? A lot of people who see this, who experience this, because remember, you're not the only one. There are many people who have done exactly what you've done. They will get into a rhythm, they will then have life happen like Christmas or New Year's or a birthday party or your own birthday, or you go on vacation and then they gain the weight back and then the motivation's gone. And the way I really like to look at this is many people fall into this rhythm because we are doing the all or nothing. You're getting a good long fast in, you're getting your steps in, you're keeping it clean. But when you talk about then Christmas to New Year happened, right? Christmas to New Year's happened. So you're talking about a week. You're talking about, if you're talking literally from Christmas, December 25th to January 1st, that's a week. So are you saying for a week straight, it was just nonstop eating? Were you still going to the gym during that time? Were you eating good during any of that time? So when you say it's hard to fast now, the way I look at this as well is it also doesn't have to be 4 to 5 days of rolling fasts. They could still be doing shorter fasts, really minding the way you eat. I mean, listen, the way this works for any of us in here is, yes, sometimes when we start this, we can go hard. We can put a long fast under our belt. We can see the weight drop right away. But I've said this to many people as well. When many of us fast and have 0 calories for the first couple of days, you're just dropping a lot of water weight as well. So of course, yeah, you could drop 19 pounds in a week. Did you lose 19 pounds of body fat? Let's be honest with that. You already know the answer. You didn't lose 19 pounds of body fat. If you did this for a week, 1 week, I'd imagine maybe 3, 4 pounds of body fat if you were going as hard as you say you were going. And again, that might even be a stretch at that point. So for you to gain 17 of those 19, hey, you're still down 2. You shouldn't be surprised about pushing the weight back up, especially when you lose a bunch of water weight and then you gain a bunch of water weight again. How do I know this? Because I've been doing this for a long time. Because I've shown people that even though I can drop 8 pounds in 2 days, I can also gain 8 pounds after 4 hours of a refeed. 10 pounds even. So it all comes back to your habits and doing what you have to do. Please, the way you look at this is you have to just go again, hit your timer, go again. It doesn't mean you have to do another 4 or 5 day fast. Maybe that's what you're beating yourself up about right now, that you can't fast for as long as you think you should. When in fact, if you fast for a shorter amount of time, then it's time to work on the diet. It's time to work on the way you eat. It's time to work on how hard you're pushing at the gym. Listen, for me yesterday to even eat 6,000 calories, I know it's going to be a really heavy lifting day today. I know that's where I'm going to put a lot of my effort in, because why shouldn't I? Why should I let those calories go to waste? Why shouldn't I push hard at the gym? Because I literally ate way more than I should have. Soren says here, the little guilt demon wants us to feel bad about the little gluttony demon getting the best of us. I mean, you're not wrong. So many of us fall into this place of guilt, to this place of, I'm not good enough. This isn't worth it. Why put all the effort in if I'm just going to gain the weight back? I ate like this, so I might as well eat more. When in reality, all it takes is just picking yourself back up and pushing forward. I mean, you're not wrong, Soaring Soul. You're not wrong. Calm down. Calm down, no. How many times have you done the weight loss journey? I saw this is not your first time losing weight. So this is my second time. I mean, if you want to talk about reality, how many times have I tried to do a weight loss journey for my entire life? I've literally been an overweight, obese, morbidly obese child, adolescent, teenager, adult, middle-aged man more times than I can count. But back in 2019, I had started my fasting journey. in 2020, I started this YouTube channel and shared myself at maybe like 35% into my journey at that point, maybe 40% in. I dropped from 235 at my heaviest down to 125. And then in 2021, I gained all the weight back and I left YouTube for 2+ years. And then I came back in 2023 at the end of 2023, and I've kept the weight off now for over 2 years. So I guess the second time. Calm down, Ho. Thanks for the question. Peter says, I get why you don't feel comfortable, but I wish you do shirtless fit checks. I mean, were you the one that commented on my last short that said I should always do shirtless fit checks? I mean, why would you want me to? I mean, I understand. I get it. Every time I do fit check, you want me to take my shirt off every single time? I don't know. It's, again, I don't feel the most comfortable doing it in that way, but I guess I'm just wondering why. I don't, I do fit checks just to show people when I feel bloated and all of that. I guess I'm just wondering I guess I'm just wondering why. So, okay, so let me see here. Let me go ahead. Let me get into, well, before I can, Maritimer says, do you feel homesick for Chicago, missing home? Maritimer with the $2 Canadian. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. So the short answer to this is yes. I've already felt homesick. And you know what's really interesting is I felt homesick right away. And it's not so much that, the interesting thing is when I came here to the Philippines and when I went to Tokyo back in February of last year, I was gone for a month. And of course, I didn't feel homesick at all because I knew I was going home. And I felt homesick right away when I got here. I think there was a day where like I was just really emotional about it. And it was just because like this is home now. Yeah, I miss home. I miss my mom. I miss Chicago. I miss stepping on the train. Even though it's like 85 to 90 degrees here, I, in a weird way, miss the snow, maybe only for a little bit. But I mean, even as I'm talking to you about it right now, I feel homesick. So I miss home. I do. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also very happy with where I'm at right now. It's just a different chapter in my life, and that's the thing I say as well is it doesn't mean that Chicago will always be my home. I mean, I'll be going back home to visit my mom and figuring out what my next steps are. I just don't know when all of that is going to happen. For now, this is where I'm at. So, okay, I need to get into my nerd stats in here, but I'm just gonna kind of read through a couple things in here. Is your brain all wonky because you're not getting a winter when your natural rhythm expected it? You know what? I don't know if that's the case because I've lived in LA. I lived in LA for a bit. I've actually lived in Dallas for a bit at the very beginning of at the very early part of my career before I was doing YouTube when I used to work in IT. So I've had warmer winters, but this is very different. I've never had a winter this warm before. So I don't know if my brain's all wonky at this point, but I will say it's nice to go outside and walk when it's like 83 degrees on a December or January day is the way to put it. Hi, JC. It's nice to see you. JC says, I just took MCT oil after a 22-hour fast. Congrats on the 22-hour. Completely got rid of any lingering appetite. Mind you, I took 60 grams of C8 oil, So my ketones tripled. Something that other people can take into consideration as well. It's not anything I've ever tried, but you know what? As I talk about my nerd stats right now, it might be a really good way to really start figuring out, how do I fix the demon that was said earlier by soaring. How do I fix that demon of food, of overeating? So let me go ahead and let me actually get into my nerd stats here at this point. So today is January 7th here in Manila. And so far for the month of January, I've had a mix of fasts, nothing super prolonged. My longest fast so far for the month of January was 40 hours and a half, or 40 and a half hours, 40 hours and 25 minutes on the 3rd. On the 5th, 2 days ago, my fast was 36 hours and 17 minutes. My current fasting average for January is 26 hours. So if you think about that, I'm pretty much averaging an OMAD right now. Honestly, if I were to calculate my fast for the last 7 weeks, it's probably around a 25 to maybe 28-hour fast. So honestly, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, I've pretty much been doing an OMAD-ish type fast. And yes, the weight has gone up, but it hasn't gone up like crazy. I found a lot of balance in what I'm doing, but the weight is creeping up. Why is it creeping up? Here's exactly why. Here are the last refeeds I've had for the month of January. You can see at the very 1st of January, I had a very respectable refeed. By respectable, I meant that I kept the calories down. I kept the protein, well, the protein was off that day. That was because that was a New Year's lunch, and I did something different for the first time, where I actually went out with family, had lunch, and I decided not to eat more after that, which is new for me. That is not something that I typically do. But then look at the next couple fasts. On the 3rd, I had an 8,800 calorie refeed, but that was planned. I planned to have a 20% day. What do I mean by a 20% day? A 20% day is a day where it only happens 20% of the time, where I eat a little more than I typically would. On the 4th, I ate again back-to-back days. I had a 4,600 calorie refeed. Now, this wasn't the worst. My goal is to keep it under 4,000. To have it at 4,600, it wasn't the worst. My protein was high at 256 grams. But yesterday, I'll explain yesterday's refeed. If you look and see my refeed times, my last couple of refeeds, they have been long. They've been over 10 hours. Yesterday was the same as well. So yesterday I had 6,300 calories, way over what I planned on eating. Now, I'm just going to explain what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was feeling really hungry at around noon. Typically, I don't eat that early. Why do I not eat that early? Because if I eat early, I will eat throughout the day. Now, here is where I did something different. Just like on the 1st of January, when I ate 3,200 calories and I went out to lunch with my family, I had a New Year's lunch and I said, okay, that's it. I wasn't going to eat extra. I wasn't going to go have a second meal and eat it by myself. I look at that as a win. I look at that as doing something different that I've never done before. That is me trying to work on the diet part. So yesterday, when I had a 10-hour and 47-minute refeed, this is what I did differently. Instead of waiting until 5 p.m. to eat like I normally do, I told myself, Jerome, you're feeling hungry right now. You have food on the brain. Go ahead and break. So I broke with a couple bananas and a protein bar because that's all I had while I was working. And I got scared because I know how I typically get. The moment I eat something, I will go insane and eat everything else, anything I can find. But what happened yesterday afternoon is I think I had 2 bananas and I had 2 protein bars, 2 bananas and 2 protein bars. And after I ate that, I was good. I actually was able to not eat until later in the day. So I look at that as a win because in my past, as far back as I can remember, I can't remember the time, or I can't really remember a time where I can just eat controlled by myself, where I'm not around other people. Because I can eat controlled when I'm around other people. How many of you are like this? How many of you can eat controlled when you're with other people because you know they're watching? What I did yesterday for myself was very different. For me to be able to eat just 2 bananas and 2 protein bars and be like, okay, Jerome, that's it. Go back to work, do what you have to do. And I literally worked until around 5 o'clock. I think I had a call at, what time did I have a call? At 5:30, actually. I had a call at 5:30. I finished at 6 p.m. and then I ate dinner. I was able to go 6 hours and just have 2 bananas and 2 protein bars. I know for some of you, you might be like, big deal. But that's a big deal to me because that shows me that I can put some control where I might not have had control before. Now, what ended up happening after was different because I ate clean. I had about half a kilo of vegetables, actually more than half a kilo. When I say half a kilo, I'm talking about a pound. I had about a pound of vegetables. It was like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, mushrooms, corn. I had chicken. I had rice. And that was it. And I felt good. But then the cookies came out. And then the ube snacks came out. And then I had this other Filipino dessert called yema. And before you knew it, instead of having around 4,000 calories, I ended up having 6,300 for the day. This is the part that I am continuing to work on. This is the part that you will probably hear a lot about. There's probably a good number of you that don't even want to hear this because all you want to hear right now is me tell you about fasting for 90 hours. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's not where I'm at. Right now, I'm good with fasting anywhere between 36 hours to 42 hours. And if I fast for less than that, then I fast for less than that. Right now, my goal is to control the way I eat. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because I want to finally be in a place where I can say I'm good at this too. I'm good at fasting, I'm good at getting my steps in, I'm good at lifting heavy at the gym, and I'm good at controlling my diet. I don't know if I'm going to see myself there. I do not know that. But the only way I will figure this out is by doing, is by trying, is by growing, is by evolving, is by optimizing, is by tweaking the way I do things. The same for you. You will only get better at your health and wellness journey if you do. It doesn't mean that every single day is going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that every single day you are going to do exactly as you have in your head. But the best that you can do for the day is the best that you can do for the day. Some people might see this or hear this and be like, that's what losers say. That's failure talk. Listen, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. I am not going to feed you perfection. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't have a shitty day from time to time because it happens. It's currently happening. When I was in Chicago for the last 3 months before I moved to the Philippines, I mean, my game was on point. I dropped down to 135. I was the leanest I was at. My DEXA scan showed me losing another 5 pounds of body fat, true pure body fat from the year prior. So I know how to put the work in. And I had my diet in control then too. This is why I know I can do this. I just had a lot change. Moving to a different country, seeing family I haven't seen in over 3 decades. Hell, there's family here who I've never seen because the last time I was here in 1992, they weren't even born yet. So I've been going out, I've been doing different things, I've been experiencing different things. Last week, and I know I don't talk a lot about my personal life, but last weekend, I took the bus and the train for the first time here in the Philippines, which I know sounds like, well, what's the big deal about that? But for me, it's a big deal because I know a lot of people here speak English, but Tagalog is the language. And sometimes I feel a little intimidated because I worry I'm not going to understand. Or anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with that. All I'm saying is I'm just living my life and I'm doing things and I'm experiencing things. And sometimes that means I'm going to be going out and I'm going to be eating and I'm going to be trying new things. And that's why a lot of people during these moments, I'm on vacation, Jerome. I'm going on a trip, Jerome. I have to work for the week, Jerome. But it's like, okay, you're doing all of these things, but you still can't work on yourself. You still can't do good for yourself. You still can't work on improving yourself. In reality, you can. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you have to be fasting. All it means is you're putting some mindfulness into what you're doing. But let's look at the reality of where I'm at for the month of January. Now, this is not perfect science. This is not scripture. But at the end of the day, it is still a game of how much am I eating? How much am I expending? If we are looking at the numbers, and again, these numbers are not scripture, these numbers are not to the T, but generally speaking, I have eaten about 23,000 calories. My body has expended about 14,000 calories. I am currently in a caloric surplus of around 9,100 calories, or about 2.5 pounds of excess body fat. That's the reality of it because I am eating more than I should be for my current output. How am I going to lose this? By extending my fasts, by getting more steps in, by lifting heavy at the gym, or I can eat less. I can make better choices. I can tell myself more whole foods, less processed foods, more clean foods, less Filipino snacks throughout the day. That is something that I have to work on. That is something I have to continue reminding myself that it is the weakest part of my journey, that it is the hardest weight loss lever of my journey. And I'll say this right now is just like people who didn't think I was going to fast for as long as I did, for people who thought I would never get the weight off, for people who thought I would gain all the weight back, for every naysayer. And you know what's really interesting? I throw this back to whoever made that comment about, am I motivated with super chats? I'm not. I'm motivated by naysayers. I'm motivated by showing people that I can do it when they tell me that I cannot. And I say this to you right now is I will figure this diet part out. I will figure it out. I don't know how long it will take, but I will figure it out. I will continue working on it every single day until I figure it out. And here's the thing, but Jerome, what if your weight keeps creeping up? Don't forget, I have tools. I know how to fast long. I know how to get extra steps in. I know how to fix things to get my routine back in order. And I say this as a reminder to all of you. Use your strengths. If you are good at fasting, apply it. If you are good at exercising, apply it. If you are good at getting your sleep in, apply it. If you are good at your diet, apply it. If you suck at some of these things, work on it. If you suck at all of these things, work on it. Because nobody is going to fix this for you. There is no magic solution to any of this. And I know there might be, people can talk about GLP-1, people can talk about medication, people can talk about weight loss surgery, people can talk about X, Y, and Z. And listen, I'm not here to stop you from doing any of that. You have to do what's best for you. For me right now, I still am a big believer in fixing this part. I feel that most of us, it's not a lack of motivation, it's not a lack of effort. It's because we are letting this control the way we act. How do I know this? You ever step on a scale, you don't like what the number says? You tell yourself, well, the weight's up, time to eat. Is that you? You ever have a bad day at work? You're taking the bus home, the train home, you're driving home from a bad day at work, and you're like, I don't want to deal with this shit today. I'm just going to go do drive through. You know better. I tell people this all the time. This shit is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. You know how to take care of yourself. You know that eating good, clean, whole foods can help you lose weight. You know that controlling how much you eat can help you lose weight. You know that eating 0 calories, putting yourself on a fast will help you lose weight, will help you lose excess body fat. You know that getting your steps in and lifting heavy at the gym will be good for your cardio health, your heart health, and aesthetically gaining muscle, retaining muscle are all good things for you. You know that sleeping early at night, waking up at the same time, having a routine, not doom scrolling on your phone is good for you. You know that good habits will help on your journey. And if you have not applied those good habits into your life, that's on you. That's entirely on you. It doesn't take a doctor or a scientist to tell you this shit. You have to work on your good habits. Now, I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that you should not take your medication, that you should not consider GLP-1, that you should not consider weight loss surgery or whatever that might be. I'm not saying any of those things because number one, I'm not a doctor. Number two, I don't know what's exactly best for you. But you know what I do know is that good, healthy habits are good for everyone. Bad, toxic habits are not good for anyone. That's just truth. That's just me speaking truth. And maybe there's a part of, or a small group of you who might say, well, yeah, of course, Jerome, that's common sense. Is it? I mean, I know it is, but if you know that, then you should be applying it. And so I tell people, we know how to do this. The harder part is the execution and doing this in a regular, accountable, long-term manner. That's what I have to share for today. Yes, I am up in weight. Yes, I have been overeating. Yes, my fasts have not been as long as they have been in the past. But that is intentional because I am trying to work on the diet part. The plan does not change. My plan will still push with ADF. My plan will still push with when I eat. I will try to eat less than 4,000 calories per refeed and repeat that cycle. What I will continue doing is to not feel guilty, not feel bad about the way I eat, and let that spiral me out of my journey. If I eat bad, I will make sure that I show up. If I eat bad, I will make sure I get my steps in. If I eat bad, I will make sure I lift weights. If I eat bad, I will make sure I sleep well. If I eat bad, I will make sure I put the mental knowledge, take time to think about why I am doing what I'm doing because I know that will help me overall. And I will continue sharing this with you time and time again so you understand how to fix these parts of your journey as well. I know all of us are in different places right now. I know there are some of you who don't want to hear any of this right now because you don't want to deal with your eating. Right now, all you care about is fasting for a long period of time. I get it. I've been there. I've done it. But I'm not there right now. At this point, I really want to find balance in what I'm doing. And again, there's no judgment on you. There's no judgment on what you're doing. I'm not saying what I'm doing is better than what you're doing. I'm not saying that a long fast isn't going to be helpful at all. That's not what I'm saying. I am just at a place right now where, yes, I can fast. Yes, I can get my steps in. Yes, I can lift weights. Yes, I can sleep well. No, I am not the best at my eating. No, I am not the best at control. No, I am not the best at keeping the foods clean, cleaner, mostly clean. That's my struggle. It'll be okay. I'll figure it out. All right, everyone. It's time for Fit Check. And we're doing Fit Check right now at a point in my journey where this morning I weighed in at 149 pounds. I was 149 pounds this morning. Before I left for the Philippines, I weighed somewhere around 138 to maybe 142. So yes, I'm up in weight. I'm up about 8 to 10 pounds. I know tomorrow my weight will probably drop around 145, but I'll still be higher than where I really want to be. And tomorrow when I refeed, because today I'm fasting all day today. Tomorrow when I refeed, my goal is to keep my calories under 4,000 calories, to keep my protein high, to continue to make better choices. And you'll hear about it because I can't run away from this. I can't walk away from this. I have been an overweight child, adolescent, an obese, a morbidly obese teenager, adult in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have been this way ever since I was a child. Why do I say that? Because I want you to understand that I didn't just gain this weight recently. I have been this person for as long as I can remember, and I have now lost that weight and kept it off for over 2 years naturally. Like I said earlier, not through medication, not through GLP-1, not through Ozempic or Wegovy or anything like that, not through weight loss surgery, not through testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy, not through any of those things. And like I said, not that there's anything wrong with those things. You do you, but I say that to all of you, saying that as somebody who has been morbidly obese his entire life, I have been able to lose that weight and keep it off naturally. I have been able to put my type 2 diabetes into remission. I have been able to put my high blood pressure into remission, all because I have learned to take care of myself and work on my habits. That, for me, I take a lot of pride in because it is something that I have never done before, because it is something that I've never really thought about before, because I used to think in a very all or nothing type manner. So let's do Fit Check. Yes, I'm up in weight. Yes, I don't feel the most comfortable doing this, but I do this for transparency's sake. So currently I am wearing, and here's the funny thing, right? Is I talk to you about this right now, and yes, I'm 149 pounds. Yes, I'm about 10 pounds up in weight. Yes, I feel bloated because I ate 6,300 calories yesterday or 6,200, but I still get to talk to you right now wearing a size extra large boys shirt. Yes, I wear clothes from the kids section at a Target. These shorts are from a Target. This shirt is from a Target because they cost like $4 because boys' clothes are cheap. Why do I wear them? Because I'm short. I'm 5'3", but I get to talk to you here even though I'm up in weight and say I can fit into these even at this weight, at 149 pounds. And I feel comfortable in it. I feel comfortable in my skin. And this is something that I would have not been comfortable in, let's say, a year ago. at 149 pounds a year ago or 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, right? I wasn't 149 pounds 2 years ago, but a year ago. I see Peter saying shirt off. Peter, if you want to watch me with my shirt off, you can just keep looking at my last short. Anyway, I say that because my body composition has changed over time. I have a lot more muscle on today than I have fat from before. And with that comes loose skin. It's something that I've talked about in the past. Do I have loose skin? Yes, I do. Loose skin here, loose skin here. You can see skin does not bounce back in that way. I have loose skin on my upper arms right here. I have loose skin on my lower belly and my upper inner thighs. One of the reasons I like to lift weights is because I feel like it helps with the loose skin, right? I also just like going to the gym to lift weights. I think that's fun. I enjoy doing that. It's a lot better than running or jogging. It's not something that I am really a big fan of, but everybody has their own thing. I think I said this on my last live stream. I've been considering taking up boxing just to learn how to do something different. I think it would be cool to maybe do that, but I feel like that would also help me as well on my journey. Maybe I can get leaner that way. Maybe I can build better cardio that way, but we'll see. So, okay, I'm at the point now where I'm gonna do Q&A. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer whatever I can answer. If you have anything that you wanted to share before we call it a day today, please feel free to do so. In the meantime, for any of you that are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can go over a game plan and a strategy to help you on your journey. I said this earlier. It isn't rocket science. You know what it takes to help yourself on working on your good, healthy habits. You know what you have to do to take care of yourself in that way. And if you don't, we can always have a conversation about it. But what I'm trying to say is most of the time, for many of us, the hard part is the execution. For most of us, the hard part is, there we go. For most of us, the hard part is being accountable. And so if you're looking for an accountability coach or you're looking for an accountability partner, you can go to finallyfasting.com. We can have a conversation. If I can help you get to your goals, the more power to you when it comes to that. At the same time, you also don't need me in that way. You can also find an accountability partner. You can find a group. You can just show up to these live streams. You can just share in the community and be accountable in that way. So, finallyfasting.com if that's something you're interested in. If you want to support me in a different way, you can go to the link in the description of this live stream and you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. Whichever tier you join, all members get a special color next to their name during chat, a little customized emoji. You can use customized emoji. You'll get your name on the intros of these live streams, which I still have to update. And if you join the higher tier, you can join us on our Wednesday night live streams, which I will be doing tomorrow, Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central, Chicago time. And we have a group coaching session where it's not just me on camera, other people will join in, other people will share their journey. And it's an opportunity for you to be a part of a group where everybody is sharing what they're doing. You'll realize that everyone's journey is different. Not everyone has the same fasting protocol. Not everyone eats the same. Not everyone exercises the same. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody has to figure their journey out and figure out how to move on from there. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the live stream. Click the link in the description of this live stream for more info or to join it or whatever. So, okay, Q&A for any of you that might have any questions. I'll just check here. If not, we're going to wrap things up. I'll just see here if there's anyone I missed as well as I'm scrolling back up. Um, let me see here. Middle-aged grind says, I made it to 23 hours starting over, shooting for a 40 hour. Congrats on the 23. Middle-aged grind. If you make a 40, keep us posted. If you don't make a 40, keep us posted. Remember, if you don't make a 40, you refeed, keep it clean, go again. That's advice I need to take for myself as well. Thanks for sharing with us, Middle-aged grind. Appreciate you. Hi, Tommy. Tommy, nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome. Nice seeing you again. Opals says, hello, lovelies. Fasted 44 hours, ate tofu, kale salad, a cherry smoothie, and a plantain. Excited to get back at it. Congrats on the 44 hours, Opals. How was it? How did it go? Finally able to embrace imperfect consistency. I love that for you. Appreciate you always, Jerome. No problem, Opals. Keep us posted on your continuing journey. So after the 44 hours, what's next? Let me know. I'll read it later in chat. Hi, Tanya. Nice to see you. Welcome. Spike, nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Put on the tiara says you look great. Your body composition definitely makes you look leaner at your weight. I appreciate that. That's one of the reasons I know that I am leaner, even at being close to 150, is because these shirts that I wear, these boys extra larges, still fit me fine. Would I like to look leaner? Yes, absolutely. But I know that I have to control the calories if I really want to get back there. Drake says, hey, Jerome, checking in. Drake, it's nice to hear from you. It's been a crazy start to 2026. I was able to get a 32 fast, broke, and hit the timer. Love that for you, Drake. Why is it so crazy? Well, you don't have to spare or you don't have to share the specifics with me, but hopefully you're feeling okay. You're feeling good. Keep me posted on your journey. Thank you for sharing with us, Drake. Lori says, I had family over this week and consequently went off the rails and ate too much. Well, back on the horse now. I mean, Lori, I know, and I know Lori has shared this. Lori has been in maintenance for quite a bit, right? And these moments happen. And like you said, it's all about just getting back on it, going forward from there. Hi, Happy Bunny. Nice to see you. Maritimer says, here's my question. I struggle with finding motivation to move more. It's cold. I'm tired a lot from working a full-time at-home office job, housework, cooking, and raising my 9-year-old. Tips? So first of all, for you to talk about housework and cooking and raising a 9-year-old, it already looks like you're probably getting a lot of movement in. Do you wear anything that tracks your steps? Have you noticed how many steps you're getting in, Maritimer? Because, and I've shared this with a lot of people, this is a hard time right now for many people who are living in the States because it's cold. People don't want to walk out in the ice. People don't want to walk out when it's that bad. Of course, I could say things like going to a gym, but maybe that isn't in your wheelhouse right now, especially with everything that's going on. If anything, I would also say if you're at home and you're working full time there, that's where, even for me, I'll say this sometimes if I don't have time right now to lift or whatever, or I know I just want to like work on my strength training, I will literally get down on the floor here and do push ups. I will do core work, which is something I've never done before. That's something new for me. Sometimes I like to tell some of my other clients, even doing things like just when it comes to doing body squats, right? Or squats in general, just making sure your form is good. Because sometimes even when I do squats that involve no weights, I find myself getting tired doing it. This is not exactly movement in like steps, but this is strength training. This is like adding muscle. We all know that the more muscle you retain, the more muscle you add, the higher your metabolism goes up because you have more muscle that burns more calories. Burning more calories means you burn more fat, right? Your body is burning more throughout the day, which also gives you the opportunity to eat more if you would like to. So obviously you could do other things like maybe getting a walking pad. I know there are a lot of people that I work with who have found a lot of benefit into getting a walking pad. there are a number of things, and sometimes more movement doesn't mean spending 30, 45 minutes doing something in particular. Sometimes all it means is 5 minutes every hour, a couple minutes throughout the day, just realizing all it takes is just doing a little more. Sometimes, even for me, it'll be, and that's not here right now, but usually like back home, I'd be doing core work just watching TV. If I'm watching a YouTube video and I'm doing nothing else, I'll literally just do core work. I'll do some planks. I'll do whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be this like dedicated. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people is they think that they have to spend an hour at the gym. They have to spend 45 minutes at the gym and it has to be this specific, and it can be. And if you're able to do it, that's great. But I know it's not for everyone either. So that would be my advice to you, Maritimer, is to maybe do something like that and see if that's helpful. I would just say try it out. It's very easy to just go on YouTube and say body weight exercises. For anybody who's watching this, go to YouTube, type in body weight exercises, and actually try some of these things. And you'll realize, oh, okay, I can put work in that doesn't involve me going to the gym or being out when I can't. So keep me posted. Actually, let me know if you find something and if there's something that you start doing that can help yourself get more additional movement in, especially during the winter months. Sure me. Am I saying that right? Sure me or sure? Sure my I don't know. You'll have to let me know how to pronounce it. I do love your Bulls avatar though. I'm currently wearing my Bulls hat here. Um, Sherby or Sure says, "Hey Jerome, I was doing boxing 2 days, Wednesday and Friday, while in a fasted state from Tuesday until Friday morning. It was rough but very rewarding." See, I would love to do that. I don't know if I could do boxing in a fasted state. I mean, it looks like you're able to do it. I just am wondering how much cardio is involved to actually be able to do it in a fasted state. But maybe I'll take some time and see if there are boxing places around here because I've been wanting to either find a group and do stuff with, or, I need to do something while I'm here. So thank you for sharing that with me. I love that. I love that. Put on the Tiara says, "I'm fasting today and I can't wait to eat tomorrow. I have high fiber, high protein foods ready for tomorrow." I love that. That's focusing on eating cleaner, right? On making good choices, high fiber, high protein. I watched some of your eating videos to get ideas. There you go, put on the Tiara. Keep me posted. Let me know how that day goes for you when you eat. Congrats to you on getting through your fasting day. Happy Bunny says, "Today was a rest day. I took a step back. I focused on prioritizing relaxing and whole foods and stretching." This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes we have to find a balance in what we're doing. Not every day is going to be 100% go out to the max, do these types of things. Happy Bunny, thank you for sharing with us. I like that you are right. It's a relaxed day, but a relaxed day doesn't mean it's an eat whatever you want day. It's still trying to still put good choices where you can. Thank you for sharing that with us. Um, Hi, Kevin. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. I know you're talking to Lori here. And I was just kind of reading that comment. But if you don't mind me sharing, Kevin says, "Having company is so hard. My husband asked, am I embarrassed to let people know I'm fasting? I said, I think it has to do with not feeling like part of a tribe." This is an interesting thing, too, because for many of us who fast, at this point, everybody knows I fast. Even my family here knows I fast. Sometimes they ask me when I eat with them, they're like, "Did you fast yesterday?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Um, so they know that. And I guess I'm at the point in my life where I don't really, I don't even think of it at this point. Sometimes I just tell people I'm fasting. Um, and then I know there are sometimes negative connotations to that. People are saying, "Well, you're going to do this and that." And it's like, yeah, but you don't really know me. You don't know where I was before. You don't know about my type 2 diabetes. But sometimes having to explain all that isn't worth it. And for some people, it's better to just not say anything at all. I might be missing part of what you're saying here, Kevin, because I knew you were talking to Lori, but I guess I was just sharing my 2 cents when it comes to that for me. Hi, Usman. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Eric says, random question. Does the Philippines have their own version of stinky tofu? This I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure if they do. We have tofu dishes. We even have tofu desserts. But when it comes to stinky tofu, I don't know. I know we have durian, which I know a lot of people do not like durian. I don't either. I was talking to my tito, my uncle, and he told me he loves it. He says that I just need to have more of it to get used to it. I don't know if I'll get used to it, but if there is a version of that, I'll let you know, Eric. Uh, the writer says, Jerome, is the group coaching for the autophagy group? Yes, it is. The writers, if you're part of that group, you can see the past live streams. They're all, you'll see the thumbnail looks like it's in white. The thumbnail is all white and it just says autophagy live stream or autophagy group. And you could watch all the past ones. And for anybody who's part of that group, if you watch those past ones, you'll see it's not just me on camera. Other people will jump on, they'll share how they're doing, how they're going for the week. So if that's something you haven't tuned into, I would say take a look at it. There's a lot of valuable information there, especially to hear other people's perspectives outside of mine. So I love that all of you are talking to each other. It's great. Blue Ocean says, is it okay that I'm on a GLP-1 while fasting? I mean, I work with people who are fasting who are on GLP-1. Now, that's probably on a case-to-case basis. So you'll have to figure that part out on you. Is it okay? I mean, I've never been on it. So my guess is I think it should be okay. For most people who are on GLP-1, the one thing I hear a lot of is it takes the food noise away. So for the most part, you probably aren't going to be hungry. Most people aren't eating as many calories as they typically do. I don't think it would be any different. But again, I'm not a doctor. You can't take everything I say exact. I will always tell you at this point, especially because you're on GLP-1 and you're not doing it in a more natural way, that it's probably something that you're better asking your doctor. Although I'm pretty sure your doctor will tell you not to fast. Again, I can't tell you yes or no when it comes to that. Maybe other people can share their experience, but it would be unwise of me to tell you, yeah, go fast for 7 days while you're on GLP-1, because I have no idea what side effects look like because I've never been on it. But maybe you can keep me posted on your journey, Blue Ocean. Thanks for asking. Sorry, I can't be as much help there because I don't have experience with it because I have not been on it. There you go. Kevin says here, my endocrinologist has told me a lap band, GLP-1, and fasting do all the same things. GLP-1 should make your fast much easier. There you go. Prioritize protein when you eat. Opal said, did y'all know there are different types of durian? I didn't know that. I can't bring myself to try it either. I've tried it. I just do not like it. I cannot get over the smell. Maybe one day I will. My uncle, my tito, he loves it. He says you'll get used to it. I just don't know if I can. Um, yeah. Shermy says you said my name correctly on the first try. Well, is it Shermy then? Am I saying it right? I wasn't sure if it's that or well, anyway. Like you say, the harder the workout, the more you'd like to eat to maintain muscles. Boxing is a lot of calisthenics technique. I really want to try. I know I should just do it. That's how you grow. when you face uncomfortable situations. I think that's where I'm at right now. Frank says, I've fallen off the wagon in the past, but I'm finally locked in. I love to hear it, Frank. Jerome, your true fasting motivation. I'm happy to say I'm finally fasting. I love that for you. Day 16. Congrats to you on being 16 days in. Thank you for sharing how far you're into this journey right now. Nomad, OMAD, 2 to 3 days a week, no more day oneing. I love that for you, Frank. Keep us posted on your journey. I love to hear that. Keep it going. Remember, give yourself grace. I think you know that already since you've said imperfect consistency is locking you in. So keep us posted on your journey. Thanks again for sharing. Eric, I said that we have different tofu dishes here. We even have dessert type tofu dishes, which are good, but pero I don't know if we have a stinky tofu dish. And that's where I said we have a durian one, but we sometimes my brain goes into Tagalog mode. But I don't know of a tofu one. If I do, I'll let you know, is what I was saying. So, okay. I think that's it, everyone. Just to give you a heads up of where I'm at right now, fasting wise, I am currently, if I can get there, if this app will not keep sending me, I'm 12 and a half hours fasted right now, so I'm very early into my fast. I'm fasting all day today. I will be breaking at around the 36-hour mark tomorrow. My goal tomorrow when I eat is to keep the calories under 4,000. Will I be able to do it? I hope so. Why? Because Saturday is another 20% day for me. I'm going out on Saturday, and I really need to start trimming the calories down. So Thursday, I'm going to try to keep the calories under 4,000. You'll all hear about it when I have my next live stream. For those of you who will be, or for those of you who are in the accountability group, we will be live streaming tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Chicago time. So for all my autophagy members, I will see you tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Before I go, a very special thank you to Mark, to Juan, to Maritimer for your super chats today. A very special thank you to Eric for the extra supportive 2026 super chat today. I appreciate the support. Thank you all for your generosity. Thank you to all my Finally Fasting fam members who support me and who show up, and to all my, I keep saying every day because I used to stream every day, but to all my other regulars who are here, who support each other, who are kind and supportive and cheer each other on. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your knowledge as well. Thank you for helping support others. We will do this again on Thursday, right? We'll do this, yes. We'll do this again Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m. Central. Hopefully I'll see you then. Here is my obligatory wave goodbye. I will see you all soon. Have a good one, everyone. Keep doing you. Remember, you're not alone on your journey. Take care, everyone.